Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency, a new kind of digital money. Unlike most other types of money we all use, it's not minted or controlled by a government and doesn't sit in a traditional bank account. In fact, no one's really in charge of Bitcoin at all. Instead, every time someone sends or receives Bitcoin, that transaction is recorded on a special type of database called a blockchain. But running the Bitcoin blockchain uses a lot of electricity, and that's got people worried about its environmental impact, especially as more established companies are starting to invest. A blockchain is a bit like a diary. Every single Bitcoin transaction ever is recorded in this diary and anyone can read it. But thanks to some very clever maths, once a new entry is added to the diary, it can't ever be changed. And this is where something called mining comes in. Thousands of computers all over the world are checking day and night to make sure that all new entries in the blockchain are accurate and no one's trying to cheat. And roughly every 10 minutes, one of those computers, whichever is the first to solve a complex maths puzzle, is rewarded with a small amount of new Bitcoin. It's a sort of thank you for making the whole thing work. When Bitcoin started over 10 years ago now, people could crack these puzzles using their home computers. But the system was designed so that the more computers got involved, the harder the puzzle became. And now they're so tricky that there are whole factories full of powerful processors doing nothing except mining for Bitcoin. All this mining, not to mention trying to keep the computers cold, uses up energy. A lot of energy. One estimate found that a single transaction of Bitcoin has the same carbon footprint of watching more than 66,000 hours of YouTube. Another found that the energy used by the whole Bitcoin network each year is equivalent to the energy used by the whole of Argentina. And it won't stop here, because in total there will only ever be 21 million Bitcoin created, and as we get closer to that number, it's probable that the energy consumption will carry on increasing. Supporters of Bitcoin say that mining is increasingly being done with electricity from renewable sources. And according to one study, 39% of the electricity used is from renewables. But even that still leaves the majority coming from fossil fuels. And if that's not bad enough, say the critics, most of that energy use is nothing more than computers trying and failing to crack a puzzle. Whether you think this is a good use of energy might depend on what you think about Bitcoin itself. Its advocates believe it's a revolutionary new form of money which will one day replace the existing banking system, which itself uses up a lot of energy too. And the fact it uses all this energy is the reason it's trustworthy, because having a lot of computers competing to solve those equations makes it far harder for anyone to cheat the system. So for its fans, that's not wasted energy at all. It's what makes the system work. But if you think Bitcoin is just a get-rich-quick scheme, then of course this is not only a lot of energy, it's also a lot of wasted energy, which is something we really can't afford at the moment. For more content like this, subscribe to BBC My World.